Alright, so I think I have to make this video because when I woke up this morning, I opened the game, I was extremely happy to see this. Now, we're going to go through a couple of the exchange shops in this video, but primarily I need to talk about the Soul Shard exchange shop and what you should be doing with universal dupes now and in the future. So I know a lot of free-to-plays after Utah will get close or rather close to being able to get to 250 or sorry, 300. So what happens when you get to 300? Well, you have the chance to buy the universal dupe. Okay, so this universal dupe costs 300, which is quite an expensive price. It's essentially 60 SR dupes, right? Or what would be 12 SSR dupes, or I think 300 rare dupes. So it's going to take a while, but I think now that it's back in the shop, because they removed this. Like, I was not crazy. I went in it and I didn't see it anymore. I think it was after Megumi came out that they removed it. And I guess it was a mistake because they brought it back or people complained. One of the two or both, right? I'm happy it's back because now I have 2 universal dupes. So what this video is going to be is one, which dupes you should trade in, even if they're not max dupes, something you're probably missing. And also who to dupe out, right? I'm not going to go there. I don't even want to like accidentally use it, but I have 2 universal dupes. And I think I'm going to get a third one soon from Domain Investigation, but I'm a bit lazy, to be honest. Like, bro, so much shit to do just outside of YouTube, so I just haven't really had time, or I haven't wanted to sit down yet and do it, but probably on stream I'll end up doing it with Utah and stuff like that. But 300, we're going to start, first of all, with how you should get it, right? Or like a better way to get it that's a bit more efficient. And also who to give the dupes to now and in the future, okay? Especially since Utah's about to come out, this is extremely relevant. So one thing that people might not know is, first of all, if you put exclude awakenables, it's all of your units that are max dupe, okay? I know a lot of you guys are not going to have that. That's fair. But if you take that off, it's going to be units that are even not max dupe. So let's say you really don't plan on using Maki. That could essentially be a free 25, okay? Now, I know she's an event exclusive, so keep that in mind, right? It might help for boosts, right? You might need her for boosts. You might need her for a bunch of stuff. Just put her in the last slot, get those extra boosts. But if you don't need her, if you don't plan on using her anywhere, that's a free extra 25. Now, in terms of SRs that really I don't think you're going to be using, right? Just, you could trade in for SRs you don't think you're going to use, right? Like, I've not for Saki, right? Not for Kamo. Haven't done it for Miwa. Haven't done it for Toto. I didn't realize for Junpei. You could do it for Shoko. You could do it for Mai, right? A bunch of these units. But of course, units like Mekamaru, Nanami, Momo, Yaga, Yuki, keep the dupes, of course. But for units you really don't plan to, you don't have to necessarily... they don't have to be max dupe, right? They don't have to be max dupe for you to actually trade it in. You just got to tick this off. Now, I have a bunch of SSR dupes just chilling there because, one, I'm not using them right now. Two, I'm just deciding, right? I'm deciding, do I want to use them? Are they going to be buffed, right? Stuff like that, which some of them have received buffs like Maki has, but it's like such minimal buffs that it's like, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that's number one. That's how you like kind of get dupes. But in terms of who to dupe out, let's talk about that. So before we get into who, we need to talk about how you should be duping. Okay, the max dupe on anyone you should be getting, don't look at my dupe 5, is dupe 2. Any new units, if you're like, should I max dupe? First of all, you might not get lucky enough. And second of all, dupe 2 is the most, well, after dupe 2, there's just not much value. There's not as much value, okay? Because you see after dupe 2, it's +5, +5, +5, okay, on every single unit. No matter what, Gojo doesn't get cursed energy because he doesn't use it. But if you see here, +5, +5, +5, okay? So... did I say +2? I don't even know, but I meant to say +5 if I said +2. I don't know what's going on. But, so yeah, after dupe 2, it's just not as worth it, right? Some units are helped by cursed energy, but Megumi isn't, by the way. Keep him at 1 dupe. It actually, like, actively is hurting him. But I couldn't, like, I was at 240 pity, and I'm like, wait, I need to go to max, and then it's like, fuck. He gets worse by it. What I mean by that is, where is it? Where did they put it? Where'd they put it? No, wait. Huh? Attribute? Is it this? No. How do you check it in game? This is why the wiki is better. Okay, we're pulling up the wiki. So, Megumi has a thing where if he's below 15 or less cursed energy, he fills own alt gauge, which you want to get. So that's the problem, because when he's at dupe 2, he gets more cursed energy. So yeah, almost every single unit, besides a unit, I think like Toji, like Maki, am I right? Where's Maki? What does she get at dupe 2? It should not be cursed energy. Yeah, she just gets increased stats. So, like anyone who doesn't need cursed energy gets extra stats to dupe too. Instead, you get cursed energy, like you could see on Nobara. Someone like Nobara, it helps a lot, right? And obviously SRs, but we're talking about SSRs. So now let's talk about like 5 units that are greatly helped by dupes. Okay, it doesn't necessarily even need to be well right now, or even right. It doesn't even, like, the 5 units that you should be duping out the most, okay, is kind of how I'm approaching this topic now and in the future. This could be a long-term thing or even like short-term, right? It doesn't really matter, but we're going to pull this up, and I'm not going to include Blue Gojo because he's already out and you're going to pull him on standard. So I'm specifically talking about new units, okay, that you will get in the future and will be kind of very, very helped by dupes, okay? Essentially, that's it. So let's get into this. Number 1 by far is Yuta, okay? Yuta is going to get, first of all, the stats are going to be good for him, all right? But the main thing is the dupe 2. Why is that? Well, for one specific thing where, well, obviously dupe 2, he gets 10 cursed energy. And here, it decreases his cursed energy by 10 when he heals, when he does the AoE heal. So if an ally is below 60% and he has more than 10 cursed energy, he heals everyone, but then he loses 10 cursed energy. So being able to keep an extra 10 at the beginning of battle will allow you to get this heal more often and make it so that people don't die. Okay, this is something very important. At dupe 2, if you really, listen, I know a lot of people are going for Yuta, and if you get lucky, then great. You get that dupe 2 and that's it. But obviously, you could get dupe 2 without going for copies in the banner and using universal dupes. You decide what you want to do, okay? I think stopping at 1 copy and putting 2 universal dupes is fine. But what you have to know is that from what I was told from JP players, okay, domain investigation and the soul shard resets the universal dupe during half annie. So we're quite a ways away from getting more universal dupes in this way. So keep that in mind, all right, when you're doing everything, okay, when you're considering all this stuff. But number 1 for sure is Yuta, okay? We just talked about it. Helps him a lot for the healing and keeping his cursed energy up. Now, number 2, Hollow Purple, okay, just getting extra stats. If you're trying to go for a nuke, going for dupe 2, like in total, how much is it going to give him? I'd say going for dupe 1 is fine on Gojo. Sorry, I should have said dupe 1. Dupe 1 is more than fine because that's an extra 25. After, sure, it's 10, but big difference from 25 to 10, right? So I'd say just staying at dupe 1 if you really like Hollow Purple and plan on using this just godly nuke, right? This absolute god of a nuke, okay? Because essentially you use it on the last turn because he leaves the field afterwards. Using this is going to be very strong, all right? And I would definitely say that this guy getting him at dupe 1 is going to be quite a strong one, okay? It's basically the top 5 units are just the top 5 best, all right? That's kind of how this works, essentially. I'm just telling you because I think some people don't know who to dupe. And like, I've had questions, right? So even if it's a pretty obvious topic, overall, that's something to keep in mind. Now, Itadori actually profits greatly from it, all right? Made a showcase on him, probably going to make another one. But getting initial cursed energy for him, why is this so huge? Because when he uses his ult, he gets zone state, and what does zone state do? It allows him to do 2 attacks in 1 turn. But to do 2 attacks, he has to use both. Like, he has to use the cursed energy for both, which means in 1 turn, he could take up to 60 cursed energy. Now, we have to keep in mind, every turn, he gets 10 cursed energy. Okay, so he's going to be fine there, but getting him to dupe 2, if you like Itadori and want to use him and like his single target abilities, right, getting him to dupe 2 will be very strong. Okay, for the cursed energy, for the initial cursed energy, upping that by 10 is going to be good. Now, obviously, for Itadori, oh, wrong thing. For Itadori, you could use either the SSR, I mean, I guess this works. You could use either the SSR or the rare Kaido, okay? Because they both give cursed energy. This guy giving 20 each turn, essentially, 40 total. And this guy giving a bunch here and in his passive, right? I really don't know how it works because I swear I saw 19 once, but oh, here it is. Okay, 14 per turn. Yeah, 14 per turn. So yeah, you get this and then you get this. So either SSR or rare Kaido, which I think rare might be a bit better, but well, for Itadori specifically. But it's just they both give Jujutsu increase both SSR and rare, so it's a bit funky how it works. Because Kaido works well with the yellow team, but it's like part of his kit works for Gojo, part of his kit works for Itadori. So mono yellow, of course. But besides that, you know, Itadori, if you really like him, and you know, he's at first annie. So this is something more so in the future, but definitely worth considering. Now Toji, going for that 1 dupe for extra stats. This guy's a monster, right? 1500 AoE with the fact that he gets 50% taijutsu and another 25 max here. So with that considered, getting an extra 25% when his taijutsu is already pretty high and his HP is really high and he has good damage reduction, well, decent enough. He's going to be very good to get to dupe 1 if you like Toji. Now, last off, same thing, dupe 1 is good for Gojo. He is a nuke, okay? He's got a 1500% AoE, but more than that, he's able to stack this 4 times. So you get those stats up and he's going to be a powerhouse, just 1 dupe, okay? So like how I go about it low-key is like Yuta, he's great. You could try to go for dupe 2, but if you don't, because dupe 2 is very expensive, right? And we just said dupe 1's good here, dupe 1's good here, dupe 1's good here, right? And then this guy obviously is another 2 dupes, but you're gonna have dupes reset by this point. So listen, these are like the main dupes I would like prioritize, and if you get lucky, that's great. But like try to see how you want to manage this, because in the next like year with these units, you should get about 4 to 6 universal dupes. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I feel like 4 to 6 would be about accurate. So see how exactly you want to plan it, which units you're going for, which units you're not going for in this case. But remember, during half annie, the universal dupes do reset in domain investigation and soul shard. I believe it's both. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember hearing it's both. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, just to say recollection bits, this is resetting in 7 days if you want to get it. Obviously, you're going to be summoning on Yuta, so you could do that. But I would say this takes more precedence if your SR units are not maxed out. And then you could just farm standard afterwards. I think standard for a lot of free-to-plays is such a huge thing. After summoning for Yuta, like 70k, you just trade in the SR recollection bits you don't want, and then you'd be fine, right? Some people are going to start getting close to this because I haven't really done the investigation, but people are going to get close. But I just want to say, maybe wait for Mahito. Like a lot of people are going to want to wait for Mahito because Yuta's coming out, he's red, so you don't necessarily need Hanami as good as Hanami is. I keep on referring to Hanami as a he, I think, when it's a she, so I should probably start doing that. I keep on forgetting that Hanami's a she, but yeah, it's kind of a cursed. It's literally like he, she, I don't really know if it matters necessarily when Hanami looks like this, but you know, when Hanami looks like this, right? But I digress on that point. But yeah, I just hope to kind of like give you guys a bit of insight on like which are probably the best to dupe out for your account. And that's essentially it. Obviously rare mats we could get, but I just where bro, where do we get it from tower? I really don't know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know who you plan to dupe out, and that is it. Bye bye.